Welcome to Malifaux University. 208. Auras and Pulses. Some effects and abilities are straightforward, like projectile attacks, while others seem to go every which way. These are auras and pulses. Auras and pulses are similar in that they both create a radiating effect that extends from the base of the model or marker creating them in every direction, including up and down. Their range is specified on each model's stat card. This Alp has a natural musk ability that creates an ongoing aura that extends 2 inches from its base. The Brewmaster has a shower of booze trigger on his liver damage attack that creates a pulse affecting models up to 2 inches away, while the Dreamer has a Bad Dreams bonus action that creates a pulse that can help out members of his crew up to 4 inches away. Then there's Fitzsimmons, who has 3 different auras affecting him and other models nearby. Auras last until the model or marker creating them is killed or removed, or until the effect says so. In the case of the Alp, his natural musk doesn't say it ends, so it lasts as long as this model is on the table. Mr. Graves has a Keeping the Peace bonus action that creates a 6-inch aura. This action specifically says it lasts until the end phase of the turn, and then it goes away. Auras also move with their sources. No matter where that Alp goes, he's going to stink. After using his bonus action, Mr. Graves keeps the peace wherever he goes. Keep in mind that some auras are created by markers or pieces of terrain that a model may drop or create. If that marker or terrain were to move, the aura around it would move as well. Auras are like conditions in that a model can be affected by multiple auras at once, but not more than one instance of an aura of the same name. Let's say Coppelius is surrounded by Jacob Lynch, Gwyneth Maddox, and a Beckoner. Jacob Lynch has the Hold'em aura, which does 1 point of damage to a model who cheats fate within 6 inches of him. Both Gwyneth Maddox and the Beckoner each have a 6-inch aura called The Party Never Ends that gives a model who cheats fate a brilliance token. If Coppelius cheats fate on any action while he is in these overlapping auras, he will suffer 1 damage from Jacob Lynch and receive 1 brilliance token, but only 1 brilliance token since the auras on Gwyneth and the Beckoner have the exact same name. If the aura affects the source of the aura and not other models, then one event could initiate the effects of multiple auras of the same name. An example of this is the Katanaka Crime Boss and the Lotus Eater. Both of these Ten Thunders models have the Protection Money ability that says if an enemy scheme marker is dropped within 6 inches, they get to draw a card. Let's say the Dreamer does just that, dropping a scheme marker right there within 6 inches of each of them. If these overlapping auras affected the Dreamer somehow, like saying he suffered 1 damage after dropping the scheme marker, he would be affected only once, since they have the same name. Since these identical auras are affecting different models, the Dreamer drops a scheme marker, and both the Katanaka Crime Boss and the Lotus Eater can each draw a card, even though it was from only 1 scheme marker being dropped. The last significant feature of auras is that they affect every model within their range, including the source of the aura, unless the wording of the aura says otherwise. The Alp's natural musk specifically says enemy models, so it doesn't bother him or models that are friendly to him. Fitzsimmons' Solidarity aura affects friendly models that have the M and SU keyword, so that would also affect Fitzsimmons since every model is friendly to itself. If his aura had said other friendly models, then Fitzsimmons himself would be excluded. Similarly, his Protected by the Union aura applies to himself. The unionized aura specifically says this model, but it requires another model with the same ability to be within 3 inches to take effect. I'll take a brief moment now to thank all those who were patrons at the time this video was made, especially Griff, Sergey, Tom, Alan, Jeremy, Mikolai, and Travis, and many more at the free student tier. Your support is essential to bringing these videos to life. Pulses last only as long as they need to be resolved and then go away. Think of them as the burst from a grenade, while auras are like ongoing radiation. Since they last only a second, pulses naturally do not move, but unlike auras, they do not affect the source of the pulse. Look at the Brewmaster again. He's duking it out with the judge and the jury. He hits the judge with his liver damage melee attack. Cards are flipped, damage is done, and the judge now has the poison +2 condition as stated in the liver damage attack. We'll say Brewmaster got the crow suit in the attack, which gives him the shower of booze trigger. It says, models within a 2-inch pulse of this model gain poison +1. This model, of course, refers to the Brewmaster himself. Both the judge and the jury are within 2 inches of him, so they both gain the poison +1 condition, putting the judge at poison +3 now. Even though the Brewmaster counts as a model within 2 inches, this effect is a pulse and does not affect the source of the pulse. The Dreamer's Bad Dreams bonus action is a 4-inch pulse, affecting friendly models with the Nightmare keyword. If he's standing in the middle of Coppelius, the doppelganger, and a Stitch Together when he pulls this one off, flipping at least a 6 to make it happen, Coppelius and the Stitch Together will both gain the shielded +1 condition and may push up to 2 inches in any direction. The doppelganger is in the Dreamer's crew as a Neverborn versatile model, but she does not have the Nightmare keyword, so she does not gain this benefit. Although the Dreamer obviously has his own Nightmare keyword and is friendly to himself, he does not get this buff because this is a pulse, and pulses do not affect their sources. One area of common ground for auras and pulses is that they both require line of sight to the source of the aura or pulse to be effective. Let's say the Dreamer's Nightmare crew and Jacob Lynch's Honeypot crew are in an encounter. Dreamer, Mr. Tannen, and an Alp are on one side of a huge wall, while Mr. Graves and Coppelius are on the other side. Mr. Graves has already activated and used his Keeping the Peace bonus action. Since the wall blocks line of sight between the Alp and Mr. Graves, the Alp is not affected by Mr. Graves' aura and may charge at Mr. Tannen without making the willpower duel described on Mr. Graves' card. Similarly, when the Dreamer uses his Bad Dreams bonus action, Coppelius will be unaffected by it, since he is on the far side of the wall and does not have line of sight to the Dreamer. One key difference between auras and pulses is that while a model may not normally be affected by more than one aura of the same name, pulses are not restricted in this way. If a model is in range of multiple pulses caused by the same game effect other than a shockwave marker, the model may be affected by all of them. Look at English Ivan, Double Agent. He gets to select plan upgrades at the beginning of the game and discard them later for different effects. Let's say he got this Noxious Nephilim in the middle of a scheme marker and 2 shadow markers. When Ivan discards this Explosive Turn of Events upgrade, he chooses those 3 markers, and the Noxious Nephilim is within the 3-inch pulse created by each of them. The Noxious Nephilim is down to 7 health and makes a target number 14 defense duel 3 times, 1 for each marker. Its defense is only 4, so it must flip a 10 or better to avoid the effects. It flips a 3, a 6, and an 8. It fails all 3, cannot use Soulstones because it is just an enforcer, and we'll say the player doesn't have anything better to cheat fate with. The Noxious Nephilim suffers 3 points of damage 3 times, 1 for each pulse. This effect avoids the Nephilim's hard-to-wound ability as well, because there is no damage flip involved. The odious monstrosity drops a corpse marker and dies again. That's the overview of auras and pulses. Pick up a printable set of all the markers and tokens you need to play Malifaux in the Wargame Vault. If you haven't already, join our Patreon for early, ad-free access to all new content. And be sure to visit the Malifaux University gift shop for the latest in Malifaux-themed shirts, hoodies, drinkware, and more. Links are in the notes below. And remember, play friendly games, keep it simple, and have fun.